Hosts of the Big Money Show on Fox Business. To what do you attribute this happening? Less and less adults in this country financially independent. Why is this happening?
Yeah, you know, an affordability crisis could be the first one. I think Americans, and we just had 2 Gen Zers on our program, and they were actually really good at coming out and saying, if you don't have financial literacy, if you don't have responsibility for your budget, you're just going to blow it, and our parents aren't going to bail us out. But guess what? There are parents out there who are bailing their kids out. I think overall the general narrative has been this affordability crisis and all of this inflation and all this debt that's been pent up.
Well, and here's what's interesting. So the Gen Z is is kind of an indictment of America's higher education system. Like, where's the earnings power from all that education? It's a tough economy, granted, but it gets to that debate about student debt and should we forgive that? And it's like, where's the accountability for schools?
I think it's really interesting what you hear from people on the street. We talked to some of them. When you ask them about debt and spending and what it's like for them, listen. Stuff. Yeah. And that is really what we're hearing.
And real wages versus nominal.
Correct.
Right? And so that is the key word. When you adjust everything for inflation, we're all getting wage increases, but the problem is everything else around us is going up, and so the net is equal, 0-0.
I want to ask you about this moment. It happened on TV this morning. The president's energy secretary, Jen Granholm, remember that notorious moment where she threw her head back and laughed when we asked what's the plan for increasing energy production in this country? Well, she was surprised when she heard, or in denial of, the president's words on fossil fuels. Listen to this exchange.
A policy move of this administration tells you they want to do that. Forget about his words. Look at his actions. We all know that's the answer. They're trying to get through an election, which means they can't quite say it the way that they mean.
It wasn't just out of campaigning. He said that on a debate stage.
Yeah, well, and it's the ultimate gaslighting of saying it and then really admitting a few years later, actually, we're going to need fossil fuels for at least 10 more years. Remember that moment? Like, you're going to need it because there's no way that we can get rid of it and do a transition that is seamless without having fossil fuels in that picture. But there's just no realism.
I feel like they've swung completely the opposite. Now they're touting record energy production.
Yeah.
And the climate activists are not happy with the administration.
Yeah, but Base can't move that around a little bit. Like, how's that going to help Americans to not let them consume the cleanest fossil fuel they could have?
And the only thing, too, that annoys us about the oil production is we have the cleanest oil in this country versus Venezuela versus Saudi Arabia, which is way dirtier, burns dirtier. We have actually the clean stuff.
You really got us going now.
Very happy to see you both. I know, I just got you guys going. Right. All right, great to see you both. Okay.